there are dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, depending on your industry, of other people who serve the same target market you do.
That's right.
I like to call them your coopetition. They don't compete with you. They don't directly sell the same thing, but they sell something else that your people will use, build a relationship with those people, and get them to love you and promote the heck out of you.
Welcome to the High Voltage Business Builders Podcast, a show where we interview high voltage entrepreneurs growing and scaling through e-commerce, real estate, and other wealth without Wall Street ventures, showing you the path to making your first or next million. Hey everybody, welcome back to the High Voltage Business Builders Podcast. I've got a great guest today. I'm really excited about this topic because it has to do with expanding business and doing it the right way, not just for quantity reasons, but for quality reasons. So I'm excited to talk about today. And so as always, please share, comment, engage, help me beat big tech, get this thing out there, ask questions, because I want to make sure somebody sees this today, because there is someone who always needs to hear the message that we share, and it might just be you. So please share that to make sure somebody else can hear what's going on. My guest today is a great marketer. I met him through a mutual friend connection with Kevin Harrington, and he does a lot of marketing for the Harrington Group, as well as other big brands, etc. And today, I'm bringing him in to talk about lead generation and how to use JVs to expand your business faster and more profitable. So welcome to the call, Seth.
Thank you very much. I am super excited to be here. Big fan of the show. Excited to be on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For those who are not familiar with you, give us your 30-second version. We'll dig into that more as we go along, but we really want to jam on the topic today. So give us some insights at least to get us started, and then we'll get into the questions and start this thing off.
Okay, I apologize. So is this a 30-second bio or a 30-second overview of what we're about to talk about?
Brag. You got 30 seconds to brag on yourself. Go.
Okay. Only person in history to ever get nominated by Dan Kennedy for his prestigious Market of the Year award back-to-back 3 years in a row. 9 best-selling books. Co-host the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank and do business with them for the last decade, as you said. And let's go with that. And I've been written about in Forbes and Inc. And I've been interviewed on NBC and CBS.
We might listen to you because you might have something important to say. So now you're bragging. Now you're just bragging. You're showing off. So what is it that is impassioned you about this business? You've been doing this for more than a decade. You obviously are doing it well. Why? Why do you enjoy it? Why do you like it? Why do you get up every day and do it?
So total of 24 years, launched the marketing firm 16 years ago. Spin off from my original core business that got my phone ringing off the hook with people saying, how do I do what you did and grow my business the way you did? Why do I get up every day? I love the ripple effect. So I started out and still own a business in the college financial aid space. And let's say I personally can only help a few dozen families every single year. But if I generate leads for other advisors, all of a sudden we can now reach, hundreds or thousands of families and help them every single year. And through our affiliate network on that business, that's exactly, we reach tens of thousands a year. And then in some of our other businesses, we reach millions of people every year. So I love the fact that I can get more done as a ripple effect. If we help a chiropractor, maybe they help 1,000 patients and now I affected all of their lives. If we're working for a national chain of stem cell clinics, we might touch 10,000, 100,000 lives. So I like to say that marketing saves lives. And I love what we do because of the ripple effect of how many people we get to help by helping other business owners grow.
Yeah, that's good. So helping other people. I love it. It's one of the reasons why we've stayed in contact as we've gone on through here. And one of the ways I'm sure we will do business in the future, as we've talked about before. What is one of the differentiators maybe that you bring to the table in this JV relationship that you're talking about? Like where is it connections, networking, experience with these folks? Unpack that a little bit more for me.
Sure. So our claim to fame is that we recruit 50 affiliates over 50 weeks to promote your business 50 weeks in a row. There are other affiliate recruiting firms out there, but most of them will just send emails to people and ask them, hey, want to promote my client? I got one of those today from an affiliate recruiting firm I know.
I got one as well, which is
the same firm probably saying, will you promote our latest client launching?
Sounds very familiar.
That's not what we do. So we build real relationships. We have a 36-step direct mail sequence. We've got podcasts. We've got content. We've got books. We've got a ton of what I call emotional value bombs that we create on behalf of our clients that get dripped on those potential affiliates that actually blow them away, get them to think that our client is their new best friend, and get them to promote and engage with our client's brand and almost become an evangelist as opposed to just an affiliate in such a way that, we get the response all the time of, I can't believe you did all this. Nobody does all this. Tell me how I can move the needle for blah, blah, blah. So We took Chet Holmes' original Dream 100 strategy. We took it a level up. So instead of going after end user clients, which Chet did, he went after advertisers. We go after affiliates, but we brought it into the 21st century. We put it on steroids and we made it work way better. And I can say that because I've got that quote from Amanda Holmes, who is CEO of the Chet Holmes Company.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Now let's talk about scope for just a second. Is it, I have to have a consulting, a product, a service, or could it be an e-com related type of launch in this JV scenario?
So we run the gamut. We do everything from a local service related business to 8-figure e-commerce brand. E-commerce almost work better because hopefully they're infinitely scalable, right? We do this for a local financial advisor, local personal injury lawyer. They eventually run out of hours in the day and have to hire more people, which is my favorite problem to cause when they call us and say, can you turn it off for a month or two? We got to train people.
Right.
E-com, if you've got a course, if you've got a product that's getting manufactured somewhere else, theoretically, that should be infinitely scalable and you'll never run out of bandwidth and we'll never run out of sales.
Yeah. So if you've got a brand that's established, it's selling already, maybe it's a single or multi-channel growth at this point, it would be good to potentially have that JV relationship to expand that brand out.
Absolutely. Think about, there are dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, depending on your industry, of other people who serve the same target market you do.
That's right.
I like to call them your coopetition. They don't compete with you. They don't directly sell the same thing, but they sell something else that your people will use, build a relationship with those people and get them to love you and promote the heck out of you.
But I assume the 50 you're referring to are pretty targeted in a network of probably a lot more than 50 people.
Yes, because not everybody's going to say yes.
Yeah.
And for our clients, we build every affiliate network from scratch. So we're not recycling, like you got that letter to email today that I got affiliates and over again because you burn it out, you burn out the list.
Yeah.
We are creating separate relationships for each of our clients with those 50 people that they own those relationships. We're not then going to the same 50 people and going, can you promote this next month? Can you promote this next month?
Yeah. They didn't even say dear Neil, it said dear affiliate. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Didn't you feel loved by that?
The ironic part was the company and the co-founder who sent that, probably a cold email, it was actually the company that acquired a company that we had a strategic relationship to supply our products to in kind of a white label format. And then they got bought by this company. And so I got reapproached as an affiliate that we had a business deal with before. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cold.
Yeah, they're treating you like a total stranger. And whoever sent that email obviously didn't segment their list and doesn't know about your relationship, which is something that would never happen on our watch because it's customized one-to-one, not a
frustrating.
spammy.
Yeah, I'm going to reply to the guy and be like, okay, so I know you bought XYZ company and you should know that we had a relationship with XYZ owners. And where does that fall into? I'm going to flame on because I think that
we'll get you on your soapbox.
Yeah, I'm going to get me on my soapbox. I have to be right. Don't you know that, Seth? I have to be right.
That's it.
Yeah. Stop it. Where do you see the next stages of evolution in your marketing going? You're always innovating, obviously. You're always developing. What's on your radar that maybe you could tap me into a little bit that's kind of like the next big thing you're working on?
So you don't know this yet because it's brand new. So I'm actually even more excited about a program my 16-year-old son built. He taught himself how to code, aced his computer programming class in high school. He was done with the final project, the first month of the class. He already did it. So he said, what can I automate in your business, Dad? And I said, here's the problem. If we do email marketing, if we use ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, Marketo, Klaviyo, and Aweber, any of those, they send a blast email that comes from the ActiveCampaign, the MailChimp server. Your incoming email service provider knows it's coming from MailChimp and you land in promotions or spam. Even if you get an amazing open rate of 50-something%, it still means half your list never saw your message. So I said, if I could sit on my computer, because there are days that I've done it, that back in the day when I was desperate and sat on my computer all day and sent one-on-one emails to each person who registered for a webinar.
Or they inboxed, yeah.
Right? And got into their inbox. I said, if I could send one-to-one emails from my Microsoft Outlook desktop email account at scale, that would blow the doors off.
Right.
He said, I can do that. He comes back to me and he says, I wrote it. And he wrote an email bot that sends a direct one-on-one email from Outlook every 10 seconds, 360 an hour, and is blowing the doors off of response rates of anything else we've ever tried.
No kidding.
So
I assume that also has to do with some of the communication and the message too. I mean, the mechanism is darn cool, and your 16-year-old doing it, that's amazing.
And the cool part is Microsoft Office have different rules than everybody else.
Okay.
So Microsoft says you can send 1,000 cold emails a day.
Oh, out of Outlook, you can do it?
Yes.
You can do that on Gmail or other places.
No, email will let you send 500 total emails a day, not cold. So if you sent 500 cold emails and got 200 bounce backs, wrong email address, because it was a brand,
tank your Gmail.
you would get shut down. Outlook will let you send 1,000 cold emails a day, spam. And once you've emailed them once, you can send 5,000 a day.
So as long as that inbox and they open it, I guess. And
no, they don't even have to open it. It just has to arrive and not bounce back.
So it has to be a legitimate, clean, not.
It has to be a real clean email address.
A real
you can run through a list relatively quickly, scrubbing it, getting rid of all the bad emails that way. And then you've got a clean list that I can send 5,000 a day. I mean, you could get, you could do 100,000 in 20 days.
So you could have a few virtual servers running email Outlook on them, just sending emails every 10 seconds off of each of those servers.
Yeah, what we've done is we've been beta testing it. Our first webinar is coming up in a couple of weeks, launching this as an official SaaS product. But we've had clients who are beta testing who said, hey, can you run it for me? And I said, I need an Outlook application on a computer. And they're like, okay, I'll buy a laptop, put it on put my email on there and ship it to you. So we just got stacks of laptops running all day.
Or I think you could do Windows virtual services for like $24 a month, right? Couldn't you also put Outlook on and do that too?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay, so you could do an RDP through a Windows, $24 a month Windows server and literally install Outlook on the cloud in that location in Texas or wherever it's strategically, and then just let it send all day on that $24 a month virtual.
I did not know that. I just wrote that down. I am going to text my son. He's in his internship at a tech company. I'm going to text him as soon as we're done.
Just set up a bunch of VPN servers in the cloud, having the email. That's what I would do if you're telling me that's something you're going to do. I'm just like, I'm setting up a virtual server and I'm going to run Outlook on it and just let it sit there all day long on a 100 megabit backend or a gigabit backend and just send all day long.
We've been doing it one laptop at a time, but you may have just made it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I can see the value of sending the laptop if it's an IP or an issue related to the connectivity from your location, right? I have a bandwidth location, so I couldn't have a bunch of laptops tapping the internet here because I got 5 kids at home running the internet all the time, plus my system pay an expensive amount for internet. So my solutions are always, where's the internet?
Got it. No, we're in a physical office building with multiple floors, so we haven't had any issues.
See, then you have a different solution. Mine would be go to the cloud and then just pump those things out.
I'm going to look into that.
Maybe it helps you out. That'd be cool. So the question would be like, if nobody sees Seth's face, he has these great faces. If you're listening to this podcast, you'll have to go check out the YouTube. But he has these great faces. Where would that most benefit somebody on a cold Outlook? If you're doing that strategy, is it going to be lead coaching, consulting, management, financial resources, maybe real estate, REI, other types of things? Is that where that's going to really benefit people?
You could do it. I mean, we've come up with about a dozen use cases already, from lead generation to direct sales to driving webinar RSVPs to webinar attendance, getting people to actually show up because they ignore the Zoom follow-up emails, to getting people booked on podcasts. If you can think to getting re-engaging your list, if half the people aren't opening your email, send those half of the people the email this way and watch them all open it and watch your, now all of a sudden Infusionsoft, Aweber, everything works better.
I could see it being something like, hey, I see you like X product, or you may have made a purchase for X product in the past, and here I got a 10% coupon. If you sign up right now, I'm going to send you a link to 10% off on an XYZ product, and then have that pushed back to e-com, Amazon, Shopify, or wherever.
Absolutely.
To really dial in a product, launch or growth mechanism, targeting a list.
Totally could do that. You could absolutely use it to go back to older customers who haven't engaged in a while. You could do it to re-engage current customers.
Yeah. I'm thinking of even new customers who haven't bought my product, never heard of it before.
You could do that too.
Email. Okay. There's a lot of use cases for something of that magnitude. That's fascinating. So I appreciate that. That's very cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. You asked the what's new question.
I asked the right question. So what am I not asking that I should be asking?
I think that was pretty darn good.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be your focus then for the coming year?
We are obviously continuing to, recruit and develop affiliate relationships for our clients. We are using my son's new tech to improve that process even more. And it's also its own separate product that, it's a much lower barrier to entry at a SaaS thing, let's say $100 a month, than to hire us to do our done for you process to go get you 50 affiliates.
Love it. I'm not going to take any more of your time because you left a lot of information on the table just now, and I don't need to pull any more out of you because I don't want you to share all your secrets on the call, or I'll keep poking until I make you say no. Where can people go find you, Seth? What's the best place to reach you? Social media, website, etc. Do you have something to give them? You want to give away for free or whatever, or anything you want to do? What you got?
All of the above. So I wrote a book that maps out our entire process. It was an Amazon bestseller. You can get it for about half the cost that you get on Amazon. If you go to ultimatepodcastbook.com, it's on special there. It is a physical book. We will physically ship it to you. And if you're interested in learning about the company as a whole, it's marketdominationllc.com. And I'm on social media. LinkedIn is probably my most active network.
All right. We'll make sure all that's down in the show notes. So make sure we have that. We got the 2 URLs. Make sure we get your LinkedIn. I think we have it. If not, we'll put it in the show notes. Folks, check it out. Ask questions, follow, like, comment, share. Seth, thank you so much for coming on the High Voltage Business Builders Podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
If you like this episode, please share it with people you think will enjoy it as well. Thank you for listening, and be sure to tune in next week for a brand new episode of High Voltage Business Builders.